Hi guys, Kirk and Jay here with Kirk, Giordano Plastering. Today I'm going to show you some intricate, detailed lathing. I've had about 10 questions, all involve different things we're doing, so this is going to get a bit complicated. We had to lighten up and turn the weed man off for a minute. We were rocking out with him just so we could point this out real quick. Here's what we got, guys. We got a lot of windows. We got a fancy house that sees all the bridges. We're so high up in the air, you can see San Francisco, Golden Gate. If I had my eyes at a 20-year-old's eyes, I'd be able to see San Mateo. Anyway, let me show you what we're doing here, guys, because a lot of you keep calling me and say, hey, where do we put these screeds at? Well, this one here, they broke it all out. Now, generally, back here, we got a screed, so we just stuck our screed on that screed, and over here we have a screed. It should be above the concrete, guys, so I just used these two screeds as a guide. There's a couple areas where we have this, so that's number one, because folks always ask me, where do you put the screeds, Kirk? Weep screed. Then we're going to put our paper on top of here and go and lift this and go under here. I'm going to show you some other things because we're busy on this particular job. So, okay, take for example this door here. Another thing folks ask me is, well, how do you get the paper under the paper? Well, notice I just used this as a guide. I put my knife here and went straight down, so I got a straight cut on this paper. Now, what I do is, I already did this, but to prove a point to you guys, where you say, how do you get your paper underneath the paper? Put it, say, under, like so here. Squeeze it as far as you can under the existing. Up and down, up and down. Tack it down. Boom. Okay. I already have a piece here, but just to prove a point, since you guys asked me, take a knife, utility knife. Okay. New blade. This is a brand new blade. Take it, follow the door. You don't got to look at it. Boom, and that's done. Now what we do is we take this here and we push it back here. Does it matter if this paper's beat up? No, because we already watertight it here. So what I'll generally do is tack this beat up stuff here. Give you an idea. And does this matter? No, because we have two layers all the way under here. Now what I'll generally do is take my hammer tacker, and if it gets stuck like that, we just take it out, or a hammer, and we push this wire back. Just like this, guys. And what I'm about to show you is actually quite easy. And here we did the same thing with the screed. Let me get this ladder out of the way. Okay. Now, you guys say, well, gee, do I need new wire? What kind of wire do I use? Okay, if, say for example, this wire here. Hey, notice we got lucky there. It equals to the door. However, over here, you can zoom in here, Jay, because you folks that ask me this question, well, the wire doesn't quite reach. Do I have to go and find that wire? Now I keep a ton of wire on my truck, just like this, because we'll unfold it, cut it, put it in there, or you can go with a corner aid. Now, why doesn't everybody use corner aids for this? Well, because wire's cheaper. Corner aids are about $5-6 a piece. But if you got the cash and you want to save some time, you could use corner aid. You could use 3.4 mesh. You could use any kind of wire as long as it's furred properly. So, for example now, guys, you put this piece of wire right here. This saves a lot of time. If you could see it over here. Now, this clean edge here gives me a chance to put my polyurethane caulking around here. So let's move on, guys. Show quite a few things here. This here, they had styrofoam mold. Of course, they took it off. We put this one back together to prove a point. I'm going to answer another thing, too. This is, like I say, quite the complicated video or complicated job. Anybody know what kind of texture this is? Man, this is a fine acrylic finish. It's about as smooth as you can get next to a smooth coat. Here's what I wanted to tell you guys. Okay, these are styrofoam molds, and a lot of people say, what should I do, Kirk? Should I save them? And if so, how? Well, I recommended to the fella who did the work here, I said, gee, save the molds. And he said, well, how can we do that? I said, invest in a Sawzall and some $13 blades that go through masonry. You'll go through about 5. That's about 50 bucks in blades. And you actually take that blade and you start here. And you work your way, all you're doing is you're cutting through some a masonry stick adhere product. So it'll cut right through here. And if you know what you're doing, you can just avoid the window and cut these off, save these. But he didn't save them, so he's looking at about $800 because it's a small order, special order. Anybody know what kind of a finish is on this particular mold? Me neither. No, actually, it looks, I did something like this about 15 years ago. It comes in a can, I think it's Flexol, and you spray it. If you spray it on just styrofoam, something in that, acetone or something, just shrinks it up like a raisin. So that's what they did on this, and these are just regular styrofoam molds that are pre-coated, then we put a color finish on them. Also, guys, always save these molds if you can, and you think, gee whiz, I'm going to spend 50 bucks on saw blades. This guy's going to spend $800 plus about 6 hours to try to find these molds, and we're going to install them. Anyway, guys, I thought I'd point out a whole bunch of stuff that's going on here. We still got to scratch this, brown it, put the molds on, and do the acrylic finish. One more thing, since I'm on the acrylic finish, I don't know if the camera will show this, but I had told the fellow, I said, well, I can do as well as the next guy, and we can put an acrylic finish to this point here all the way to the front. And he says, well, what do you mean the next guy? I said, well, this wall was done by a separate person. He said, how can you tell that? I said, because there's a color difference. This won't show it right there, but right here, can you see that color difference? It's a tint off. This is a different tint than this. As a different person who applied this too, because I can see it. I can see the tint. So in other words, they already changed this window. Anyway, they're changing all the rest of these just to upgrade, but they had some really beautiful fancy windows to begin with. When we get to the stage where we do the styrofoam, we'll show you how to do that stuff too, I think. Anyway, my name is Kirk, and for you folks that ask me all these tedious questions, I thought we'd take time off, turn the radio down for a second, and just explain it because we can. My name is Kirk, Jason on the camera. We thank you for watching, and as usual, we'll see you guys on the next one. Once again, folks, we thank you for watching, and I really enjoy all your comments.
If you guys like this video, please click the like button down below, and also if you enjoy what we do, subscribe to our channel so we can keep making these videos for you.
My name is Kirk.
And Jay.
We thank you for watching, and from the entire Giordano family, we'll see you on the next one.